really do think we're going to see Florida come out as hot and energized as they have in maybe the entire history of the Kirby Smart era. 2020 notwithstanding, because they just had a squad that year. They don't have that anymore. But they're going to come out, I think, looking really good. I think they're going to come out in rhythm. I think they're going to have a good script to start the game, and they might get a touchdown or two on their first couple drives. But it's like you and I have been saying, as good of a defense as Florida does have, and I really do think it's one of the better ones in all of college football. I mean, I'm just still thinking about what they did against Texas. Like, that was really something else. They shut them down. Georgia's going to have to earn everything they get offensively on Saturday to me. But as much as I believe that to be true, I also really believe Georgia is fully prepared to do that. I think this is just a flat-out good Georgia offense led by a good quarterback that has a really good run game and an offensive line that's finally healthy, or it looks like it's finally getting healthy, knock on wood. Ernest Green came back at right tackle last week, was a force. Monroe Freeling finally looks healthy. Juan Gaston looks like he's getting healthy. Drew Bobo's been the rock there the whole year. Michael Morris looks like he's healthy. Like this, if this offensive line rounds in the form this time of year and the running game continues playing like it is, Bowens looks like he's mostly healthy. Nate Frazier, if he turns a corner and gets over the fumbleitis, like the Colby Young injury is devastating for sure. But they have a lot of guys that can make plays in a lot of different areas of the field. And they have as good of a hope for a replacement 1-to-1 for Colby Young as they can possibly get in Noah Thomas. So if Noah Thomas can be 75% of the player that Colby Young was for them before the injury, I think they'll be just fine. And that's ultimately why I think Georgia will win this game. I just don't think Florida's going to be able to outlast them ultimately. So I will go 34-27, Georgia. I'm gonna give Florida some points.
Okay, so you're
I don't trust the Georgia defense at all.
Point spread wise, that's not covering. I think Georgia's like an 8-point favorite.
Half a point they're missing the cover.
Yeah,
I don't trust the defense. I don't.
No, I think that's fair. Also, Noah Thomas was a great shout out because we hadn't talked about him very much. But also, you can't. This is no Prize Picks, DraftKings advice. I'm not giving anything out like that here, folks. But you can't tell me Lawson Lucky is going to go for a three piece one day, and then Oscar Delp's not going to get on the action the next week. Oscar Delp is scoring a touchdown in this game, sir. Okay. You put it on the board. I think these Georgia tight ends are gonna have a nice day, but. Yeah, like A&M was able to run for 183. Miami was able to run for 184 on this defense. Mississippi State ran for 144. I think Georgia's going to have success running the ball and throwing it, honestly. So I think we're probably looking at a game. I mean, just law of averages. Or just take what Georgia's been. It's probably good to bank on Georgia giving up a touchdown on the first one or two drives of the game, if not both. But I think this is probably going to be like a 17-17 game into the third quarter, if not like going into the fourth. But I'm going to say Georgia pulls away and wins by 2 touchdowns. I'm going to say 31-17. Georgia wins this one. Maybe like a year ago. It doesn't feel great, but maybe get a turnover late and get that extra touchdown to make it look better. But yeah, I'm going to say Georgia does win and cover.
I guess that's more in line with how it's been going recently, the last few years. My main thought really is like I can't really explain this in a way that makes like sense as like actual football, but I just feel like the Georgia-Florida game has in recent years been much closer than the final scores have reflected at times. And so I think we're due for a one-score game, even if ironically that means that it's a less close game than the score indicates this time around. I think that I don't know. At one point or another, this Georgia-Florida game has to be a one-score game.
No, that's true. It's just more likely to happen when they're
year, and I think it might happen this year.
Yeah, it's just more likely to happen when they're actually a good team and didn't just fire their head coach. But hey, who knows? Who knows what could happen with the interim cheese, as you said. But yeah, I think it'll be an interesting one.